We're currently on our journey to an early retirement. We are shooting to retire at the age of 50
50.
and 52. And on our journey, we last month hit Coast Fire. So in the financial independence retire early movement, Coast Fire is right smack in the middle of it. And we could coast our way all the way to a later retirement age, but we made the decision not to do that. We made the decision to kind of go full steam ahead and get to full retirement as fast as possible. And that trajectory right now is currently 4 years. We're trying to bring that up. Um, but what we noticed in the video is we didn't talk about the why or the what. We talked how.
Right.
And we talked about the past. And in all of our videos, we really talk about how we're doing it. But we didn't talk about the what or the why. And we just saw a video from David in Progress, and he actually brought up the topic of what, why, and how. And it got us thinking we never talk about that. So we probably should. So David, thank you very much. And in this video, we're going to talk about that. So for those of you that are new to us, I'm Jim.
I'm Cherie.
And our channel is all about chronicling our path to early retirement. We started the channel months ago at this point, and we're already halfway into our journey. Wish we would have kind of did the early part, which showing us heavily in debt and trying to get out of it. But here we are now, and we're trying to help people, that are in this journey to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. We're halfway there. We can't even believe that we're halfway here. So hopefully this resonates with at least one person. If it does, that's all we need. So if you could do us a favor and please punch that like button, like hit it, because it's going to help the YouTube algorithm show our faces on there. So thank you very much, and let's get to the content.
All right, let's get into it. So number one on the list is we just want our time back. We're not selfish people in the littlest means, but we literally have been working since we were kids. I was 11, maybe 12 when I had my first paper route. I think you were too.
10 or 11, yeah, I started. That wouldn't be allowed nowadays, by the way. Like kids at 10 or 11 at 5 in the morning delivering papers, that does not exist. It can't exist now, but it did in the 80s.
Yeah, it's a different world. And I can remember at 14 years old working at a grocery store bagging groceries at $4.25 an hour, which is ridiculous when you think about it now. And then getting into high school, we were doing some crazy, like running from sports and classes to run to our high school jobs.
Every day, yeah.
Almost every day.
And then in college, same thing, like multiple jobs in college on breaks, had 2 different jobs. I worked 2 different jobs. And then once we get out, same thing. You're working crazy to build your career. And then we started having a family.
Pretty early.
And then we built our family. We kept having kids. And all of our time went there.
Yeah, it did. And I don't regret a thing. It was earlier than what we planned. So for that reason, why not retire early? We had some crazy jobs. We had jobs that drove over an hour. And
at least an hour. Yeah.
Third shifts that were 12 hours, weekends, holidays, on call. You name it, we probably have done it. Yeah. And it just feels right to kind of back away from that and try to get our time back. We're definitely not selfish people, but I don't know about you. I just feel like I'm ready for that.
It's kind of weird. You see this light at the end of the tunnel and you're like, oh, I can actually go do stuff I want to do when I've given it up for 20 years and now I can go hiking. I can hike. It's amazing that I can even think about hiking after 20 years. I've given it up. It's like you give up a lot of your stuff that way to be selfless, right? For your family, your career. Yeah. And now we can see it. And it's like, oh, that would be really nice to be able to do
or volunteer. I've always wanted to volunteer at things and just kind of give back to the community.
But when our schedule's so busy, our free time is mowing the lawn, it's cleaning the house.
Moving boxes.
It's crazy. So time, number one.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things you cannot put a price tag on. So that's why it's number one on our list.
Yeah, that's our why. Is we just want our time back to be able to do other things. And now, let's get to the why. All right, so now that we've talked about the why, let's talk about the what. So the first what is we want to spend much more time on our health. We are active people. We eat really well. We've eaten clean for 15 years or so, and we've exercised for 15 years pretty much straight. We've taken some days off, but we exercise a lot. But we want to spend more time a day doing that, and we really don't have the time to do it. The time we have now it's just fitting it in, and we would really like to dedicate it in the morning to be able to get exercise in. And
First thing in the morning with a coffee.
Yeah, if we can do hours a day, we would literally do hours a day. We do about an hour a day now, but we would like to do hours a day, which is, I know it might be a lot for most, but for us, we know that the number one driver of expenses is healthcare costs. And healthcare is expensive, and especially if you're on a fixed income, you're retired, it's a lot of money. Right? And you see it, you know, people that are unhealthy being in the healthcare, and I'm in there too. Like, we see it. It's like,
we're still paying off healthcare bills from like our daughter's like procedure. So like we can vouch that it's very expensive, and she's healthy, but she, you know, things happen.
But we're lucky enough right now to be blessed that we're not on any medications, and we want to fight that as long as possible, is to not be on anything, because we know that it just leads to more, and we're just trying not to do that. And again, when you're on a fixed income, the last thing you want to do is give that money away to the healthcare system. So the number one way to combat it is exercise and then nutrition. Those two things are really the things you need to do. So for us, we want to focus more of our time on it, but we don't have the time to do it. We do now. We have a little bit of time to do it.
And we sleep well too, and that's important too. You definitely want to try to sleep well.
So the types of exercise, we walk a lot. Like, we're big into walking. I used to run. I don't run as much anymore, but I used to run, and I like to run, but I don't have the time to run. So I probably will pick that back up once I'm retired. I just don't have the time right now to do it. But what other things?
We love to kayak, hike, weight training. I'm not a big fan, but when I do it with him, it seems better. I don't know why. Maybe he makes it more fun, but I'm not a big fan by myself. Pickleball. Everybody is talking about pickleball. If you've played pickleball and have some comments you want to share about it, I'd love to hear it. I'm super excited to try it. I guess it's like better than tennis from what I hear, or a lot like tennis.
I don't know. We haven't tried. We don't know yet.
We have courts that are going to be so close to where we're moving to. So that is on my to-do list.
So hours a day, we're planning on exercising. I know it sounds extreme, but it's what we like. You know, we can walk an hour or 2 hours or even 3 hours. Like, we could walk, I walk 10 miles some days. So
well, and we do it together. So it's like you're having a long talk while you're just walking and catching up with one another. So I think it goes by fast for that reason. So it doesn't feel like 2 miles, or I don't know about 10 miles, but you might be by himself for that.
I'll do half with you and half on my own.
Okay, deal. Okay, number 3, the what? We want our hobbies back. I don't know about you, but I can't remember the last time I did like a hobby. I would love to sit and learn how to crochet. I would love to garden with you some more. I would love to kayak more. And I know that fits into the other category, but that is still a hobby.
It's a hobby. Yeah, it's a hobby of ours.
Reading, I honestly can't remember the last time I read a book cover to cover. I'll usually start one, but then it just goes unfinished. Yeah, make some great new recipes. I love to cook. He loves to cook. He loves to grill.
I love to grill, and I've been on this mission for way too long to perfect the perfect fajita recipe, like the seasoning, like a dry rub, and I just want to conquer it, but I don't have the time. But I want to.
Where are you, Bobby Flay?
Yeah. Well,
we need you.
We're not beating Bobby
No,
Flay.
but we'll take his assistance. If anybody knows him, drop us a line.
But yeah, we don't have time for that stuff. We just don't have time for any type of hobby, and it goes back to that time element. It's just like, you just don't have time, you know, any of those things. Like reading, I've read so many financial books, but like, I love history. I don't have time to read those books. I have stacks of them. I don't have time to read them. Just don't have that time. And
I'd rather read romance novels, so that's where we differ.
But it's still reading.
It is reading. I mean, it's still an escape in your mind to another place, and that is a very healthy thing to do.
Yeah, just hobbies would be really nice to be able to do it and learn new ones, right? Like, growth is always learning something new. So like we said, pickleball earlier, we don't know about that. Like, we'd love to learn it.
Yeah.
Any type of hobby like that could be, it kind of fits into both. It could be a hobby and some type of exercise.
Yeah, I want to learn how to do some crazy like ballroom dancing like stuff. So when our kids get married, we look like professionals.
We started doing that a little bit.
Yeah, that would be a fun video actually.
But we're not good at it yet. So there's no way we're making a video. There's no way.
But I will say I love it. I love to just like learn like new moves. We have a daughter that's a dancer, and I'm always envious of the stuff she does on stage. I'm not saying I'm going to be a competitive dancer by any means, but I think that would be so much fun to like maybe be on like a little tap team or a little recreational adult tap team or
And that's
something.
exercise too. So it
And
kind
it's
of
great
fits both.
exercise, and you make friends.
Yes.
Yes.
3 want is less stress. Most of us have stress with life just in general. We have stress with jobs, stress all over. But if you can eliminate not working, that frees up a whole big bucket of stress that you know is impacting your health, your overall health, your mental health, your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That would just be wonderful to be able to have that weight lifted off your back. We listen to a lot of podcasts and we listen to a lot of other YouTube channels out here of people that are recently retired or have been retired for years. And one of the biggest takeaways we get from them is that shedding of that weight of stress.
Yeah, it's off your
It's gone.
shoulders. Can you imagine never having to set an alarm clock and you can literally just get out whenever you want? Like, I literally wake up in the night wondering if I actually set an alarm. Am I going to oversleep? Is my husband going to know to wake me up if I don't wake up in time? I'm like, oh, I literally wake up panicked sometimes, and I'm like, wouldn't that be nice not to ever have to do that
Yes,
again?
it would be very, very nice. Yes. So even the stress of that's just stress on top of your work stress. So there's like stress on stress. And what they say is, and we don't know because we're not there yet,
No.
but we can't wait to be there, is that the relief of that. So we know what the relief of being at least debt free feels like. We know what the relief of being in Coast Fire feels like, and they're amazing feelings. But that less stress feeling has to be the most wonderful thing. We don't have it, obviously, but we want it. We want what they have. We can see it in their faces.
Right. It's like every day's Saturday, every day's a vacation. Like, you never have to worry about those little weird things like, am I going to make it to work on time? Am I going to get stuck in traffic? Is my internet going to not work? And I literally have to call out because we have no power. Like, and those poor people in Florida, I'm so sorry. Like, you are guys are getting bombarded with rain. And I'm sure a lot of you do not have power.
It's terrible.
So that stress alone, like knowing that your work performance could be literally jeopardized for unknown reasons like traffic and weather and
just life.
Just
life. I mean, it's stressful enough.
That would be so amazing, that weight just to be shedded.
And it's all mental, right? Like that, to shed that mentalness of it would be absolutely amazing.
All right, the fourth what? Probably one of my favorites. I want more time with my family and my friends back. I honestly say that our work life and our busyness really interferes with how much we see our friends and family. I mean, there's just some times where we literally have to book 2 weeks ahead of time to get together with friends, or months ahead of time to actually see family. So I would love not to work and be able to jump in my car tomorrow and see family, especially if it's for a special occasion or because they're having great weather or they just need some extra help. I mean, they are getting older.
Yeah, our parents are in their 70s and 80s, so we don't have the time to spend with them. Yes, we can spend 4 hours, 5 hours on a weekend day every so many months to be able to see them, but we want to be able to spend a week if we can. Like if we can actually get there and stay a week with them, that's more time than we've had in like 5 or 6 years combined with them. That would be amazing if we could do that.
Yeah, and our friends are like our family too. So we left one state 20-something years ago to move to another state. And we were so blessed that our friends became our family and people that we would spend a lot of time with. And their kids became our kids' friends. I mean, we're very blessed. So to be able to like come back and spend time with them or be able to host them to stay with us and not have to worry about being bombarded with work and anything like that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's just we don't have that luxury. I mean, most of us don't, right? Out here, we don't have that luxury. But if we could get that luxury, why wouldn't we want that luxury?
Right? I mean, you're enough for me, but I like a little variety here and there. Like, yeah, come on over. Like, like hang out with him.
But it'd be so much fun, right? If we could have much more time than the people you want to actually be with, if you had the time to do that rather than, I'm not saying coworkers are bad. Coworkers can be great.
And they can be good friends too. Some of my coworkers are some of my dearest friends.
But again, you're in a job, you're working. The conditions are not your own conditions. Those are conditions that somebody else is making for you. You can actually choose on a given day what you want to do and who you want to be with. And those friends and family, acquaintances, whatever it is, to be able to choose what you want to do, that's pretty awesome. Right now, we don't have that. We have little blocks that are open here and there outside of what our kids consume and our work consumes. And that's what we try to fill with our friends and family.
Yeah.
But it'd be great if we had all that block
Yeah.
available to be able to say, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we'll spend a week with you. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
go
Oh, you
wherever.
need some help. You just had surgery. I'm coming. Let me be there for you. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I know our parents aren't getting any younger, so like, let me jump on a plane. Let me drive. We'll be there. Like,
Yeah.
no worries. Like, I need a cat sitter, but I can handle that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need cat sitters.
Anybody know anybody who watches 3 cats
Yeah.
in Tennessee?
Yeah.
Give me your number.
Yeah, we need cat sitters.
But no, honestly, it would be so dear to my heart to be able to spend more friends and more time with friends and family.
Yes.
Because they are very precious to us.
They are.
And honestly, it would probably be a very high on the priority list of what's with early retirement.
Yeah, so the order that we put them in, that doesn't mean that's the order.
Mm-mm.
We just listed, like, when we talked about this, when we were talking about co-firing, like, what do we want to do? We have all these opportunities, like, what are we going to go into? Like, what's our retirement going to look like? And these are the biggest things we thought of. And like, yeah, there's a lot of little things, but these are the biggest buckets for us of like why we want to drive towards it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. So thanks for watching this. We really appreciate it. If you haven't hit that like button yet and you're still watching this, please hit that like button. YouTube likes it for some reason. I don't get it. I don't think you get it, but they like it.
Or subscribe. That's even better.
Yeah, so if you're not subscribed and watching this, we actually see a lot of people watching these and not subscribing. So if you want to watch more of us, hit subscribe. If you don't, we get it. But like, if you actually want to watch it, you got to hit the button to be able to see us again. And thank you very much for watching us. We really appreciate everybody out there. We've had so many positive comments. We've only had a few negative, so appreciate that. There's not many negative, but we've had so many positive comments towards us. We're kind of like in awe.
Very humbled.
Yeah, it's kind of like in awe about it. It's like, really, like, this is weird, but like
it is weird. But honestly, if we can help somebody change their path to better themselves and their financial journey, like, I'm so happy. Like, that is awesome. I wish there was someone around 10 years ago to do this for us.
Oh my gosh, yes. I wish. But we weren't smart enough, I guess, to go look out there to do that.
God, no.
But we are now.
We are now.
So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.